Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to your safe space. Welcome to another spiritual deep dive. We are, if you haven't already seen the title, the picture, the thumbnail, and all of that, I'm going to be looking into Prince Harry. I have done a reading on him and Meghan Markle, and I just want to read on him. And again, my readings are a little bit different for anybody who hasn't watched my videos before. I want to look at things from a different spiritual perspective and really see what the emotions are. I am an empath, and I can tune into people's feelings and understand why they do the things that they're doing. So those are the basis for my readings, and hopefully by these kinds of readings, it'll help us all have a little bit more compassion towards others and understanding. I also am prepared to bring in Mama D, his mother, Princess Diana. I've never channeled her, so that should be interesting. If this reading is long, which I don't know that it will be, I don't know that it won't be, but if it is, I'll break it off into sections. And if it is separated and broken into sections, be sure to check out the other ones as well. So stay tuned. I have not read I've stayed out of the news. I don't know much about anything. What I do know is he has, well, I think that the whole world is aware that he is living in the United States. He is no longer considered working royal, and he has, as well as his wife Meghan, a Netflix series. And I think that the reason why he's in the news right now is because he just released a book, if I'm not mistaken. So, and he's doing press conferences or interviews and all of that to promote the book. So that's literally all I know. I don't know what he has said. I haven't watched any Netflix documentary. I haven't done any sort of research. I think that's best. I don't want to be influenced. I don't want to have an opinion. I'm just going off of what I'm reading. So hopefully you're with me. Hopefully when you are tuning into this video, you have no preconceived, ideas, judgments, beliefs about him or why he's doing what he's doing. So let me first light some sage. Okay, have my lighter, have my piece of sage. Just asking my guides to surround me at this time. In a loving ball of energy, which will protect me from anything unwanted. I'm asking for the same for you all, whoever is viewing. Please bless these cards. Please bless the people I'm going to be reading. Anything that wants to come through, let it be for the best, the highest good for everyone involved. And let's do this thing. So First, what I like to do is tune into the energy of the person. I usually, very old school, print off a picture of the person that I'm reading, and one where I can see their eyes very clearly. And so that's what I did. It's still black and white, so please don't judge me. But here's the picture. I feel that I can see his eyes clearly. And I think that's the cover. I'm pretty sure it's the cover of his book, a book cover for the one that he just released. So give me a minute. I'm gonna tune into his energy. Okay. So if I'm looking off to the side, I do apologize. I'm just looking at the picture, or maybe if I put it here, but I'm still gonna be looking down. It's just that I'm tuning into his energy. So please, please, please don't beat me up. Yeah, please just don't beat me up. Okay, so what I'm picking up is somebody that has a lot to say. Somebody that has a lot to say that isn't really used to having a platform and basically at liberty to say what they want. He's not used to that. He has an audience, he has a following, he has people that are interested in what he has to say. But whereas before it was, I don't want to say scripted, but it was, you can say this, you can't say this, make sure if you're speaking it's this way and that way. But somebody that has like a newfound freedom and liberty, and almost like I don't even know what to do with all of this freedom. It's almost like if somebody has been shut their whole life and now they have a voice, they find their voice. It's almost like they have blabbermouth, like they're just and so that's kind of what I'm feeling at first. I do pick up pain and hurt, that he didn't want to lose the family that he has that's alive. You know, I think the feeling is I've already lost somebody dear to me. I didn't, you know, and that person's dead. I can't see them again in person, in a human form. And I didn't want to and expect to lose my family as well, the ones that I can see in person, in human form. I feel like saying there's nothing that could have been done to prevent this. I think what I'm sensing is this was bound to happen. I was already feeling I don't want to say this, but it's what's coming at. I was already feeling shackled, and I feel like I'm channeling him, and he's saying a lot of people might think and feel that it was Megan to cause me to leave my duties, but in all honesty, I was very unhappy for a very long time, and I've wanted to leave and step away for a while. And I have two pictures of him here, and one of them, which is the book cover, he's looking dead at me, and I can, you know, That's the one I've been going by. It's kind of clear. It's easier for me to channel somebody if I'm looking into their eyes. This other picture, I'm going to show you again. And please, please, please don't judge me for the black and white, okay? Don't. So I'm looking at this one now. And there's a difference in the pictures. The picture that he's not looking at me, you can tell he's even more in pain, more struggling, more upset, more sad. I feel maybe the book cover he had to, or maybe he has healed since then. And maybe the time in between the pictures, he's done some healing. But this other picture right here, he wishes things were different in the sense that I don't know if he wanted like this perfect outcome of no animosity, no, I mean, probably, because, but he didn't expect for things to end how they did, relationships to turn into what they've turned into. And I think what I'm feeling is a lot of these things he was holding on to, not really wanting to. It's one of those things, if you don't see it, then you can't really say that it's real, and maybe trying to avoid, like noticing certain things in maybe his line of work previously, what he was expected to do, what the philosophies of his family, or, the royals. He noticed a lot of things before, but didn't. It's almost like if I don't focus on them, they're not real. I don't want to make them real. So that's what he had done. But when he was in a relationship or stepped into a relationship with his now wife, things were more evident and things that you can't really hide. So that's all of that I'm feeling. With this picture of his book cover, it's such a great picture, and I feel his energy from it. I just feel liberated, and I feel maybe a little bit scared, in the sense that if I were to put myself in his shoes, which I do as an empath, I've been told what to do, how to do, who to be my whole life. And it's kind of scary stepping into the big world. It's so controlled, the narrative, the communication pieces are so controlled. You only see what we see, which is controlled. But to be liberated, to now get the freedom to be you, and to have a lot of people looking at you is very intimidating, daunting to some people, very stressful. And that's kind of what I'm picking up on, is I have this new sense of freedom. I'm stressed, or maybe I feel a little bit of pressure, or it's maybe pressure that he's putting on himself, or just he's overwhelming himself. I don't know, but it's something weighing on him. And it comes from that. I have the freedom to be, to do, to say anything. One, who am I going to be? What am I going to do? What am I going to say? And I hope it's okay, type of thing. So that's what I'm getting for that. Let me now move on to his mama. Mama D. This is the picture I have of her. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta get better with these pictures. I know. But they help me. So, and again, apologies if I'm looking down. I'm just looking at this picture and trying to channel her. So I think it's this picture that I have of her here, but what they might share in common is the fact that, you know, wherever they would go, there's paparazzi, there's cameras, there's, you know, the whole world watching. And just the feeling of discomfort comes right out at me in this picture. Like, I'm doing this because it's my duty, but I'm not comfortable with it. I don't necessarily love it. So that's what I'm feeling with this. And I feel the same for Harry. And again, I'm feeling the feeling of there was no escaping this. This was bound to happen. And I don't think that any other wife would have given him the, I don't know the word that I'm looking for, the push, or just, this was just bound to happen. I think another thing that they share in common is feeling like an outcast. She felt like an outcast, and I'm picking up that that's a feeling that they share in common, feeling like an outcast, whereas she was still inside of the family feeling like that. And I mean, he is technically part of the family, but he's not, you know, there with them in that public limelight and in his fulfilling his royal duties anymore. But even when he was, he felt like an outcast. And again, they share that. And if you can imagine the feeling of not being able to do all of the things that you like to do, but only being able to do things that are expected of you, and not having much freedom where that's concerned. Because you're indebted to your duty, and your duty is what am I trying to say? Come on and say it, Mama D. Come on and say it. You have a duty, you have an obligation to the crown, and that's that. That's that. And so with that, there is expectations on you, what you cannot do. And so if you can imagine that, having the freedoms that, you know, you and I and us common folks, you know, that we have. I mean, I can go out and do whatever I want and not have the whole world know and freak out about it. But if you can imagine that particular freedom being taken away from you, it's a lot. And some people can deal with it well, some people don't mind it, but others don't really like it. And so, but you don't have a choice is what is coming out. You don't have a choice. It comes with it. It's a responsibility, a huge one. Right, so I'm gonna pull some cards and see if she has anything to say about this situation. Just blessing all of my cards. Okay. What do you have to say? If you could say anything right now, Mama D. What would you want to say? The Emperor. Okay, we have the Emperor. Doesn't surprise me at all. Four of Swords. And the High Priestess. Let me try to tune in. So the Emperor is, if you look at this card in particular, I'm almost feeling like Harry is that little boy, right? You've grown up living, abiding by a set of principles, a set of rules, regulations, and that provided stability, that provided your basis for your understanding of life for like everybody, right? Then you have the Four of Swords, which is another four, another stability card, but this is a long pause, or you're taking rest after maybe a long period of struggle, combat, fighting, which you can see in this picture here. So 4 and 4, you have Harry, who grew up under a certain set of beliefs. Now that he's gone through what he's gone through, the separation from his royal obligations, meeting the person that he met, marrying her, uprooting his life, moving to the United States. I'm sure he never thought this was going to happen, like actually physically happen. So then you have the High Priestess, number 2. And for some reason, I still feel that these memories, these thoughts, or the fact that his family is or the relationships within his family are the way that they are, that it's really weighing on him. It's like he's really hurt and bent up over it, is what I'm sensing. That it's almost like, I'm blood, I'm your family, and if I didn't want to do this anymore, why can't you support me? Why does it have to be this big ugly mess? Why did I have to lose my family? And so the High Priestess normally signifies a period of invocation, spiritual ascension, a journey that we're on, or a period in our journey where we are gaining more spiritual wisdom and more knowledge. And so I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Let me have a clarifier. So what are you trying to say, Mama D? What are you trying to say? I said I also keep hearing it's inevitable. It was inevitable. We have the Tower in reverse. 8 of Cups. Okay, so we have the Emperor and the Tower together. The Tower being the Tower, what is it called? It's not upright, it's in reverse. Okay, so the Tower in reverse is signifying the Emperor. It's almost, I want to say, he felt like his relationship with his dad was indestructible. He felt like, or he thought that it was indestructible. He thought that nothing that could have ever happened would have resulted in a change in dynamic between them. because that's how it should be, you know, in his mind. So he thought that my relationship with my dad, because that's my dad, it's indestructible. It should be that no matter what I do, no matter what I believe in, no matter who I marry, he's still going to be my dad, and we're still going to have this tight bond. But clearly that didn't really happen. Obviously there's a strain in that relationship. And so the Eight of Cups is here clarifying the Four of Swords. So the Eight of Cups is emotional, spiritual fulfillment, a journey of emotional fulfillment. And so it's no surprise that these two cards are together, because it's through a period of reflection, introspection, that some of the clarity can come through. I don't see a hermit, so I don't see that he's closing himself off from the world and wanting to do it alone. But the Four of Swords is you're in a period where you're reflecting, you're alone, you're still not alone, cut off from the world, but just, you know, you have a period where you're reflecting, and with the intention of finding that emotional fulfillment, he's looking for answers. He's looking for things to make sense in his mind, especially when it comes to his family, because my family is my family. Why does having a job, because this is what it is, being a royal is a job, why does a job change or have to change my family dynamic, my family relationships? You know, I think that's where the mix-up is. So the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups is here clarifying the High Priestess. So the Seven of Pentacles is normally talking about indicating, signifying a period of wait. You're waiting to see the results of something. You're waiting for your fruits to bear. You're waiting for what you've seeded, what you've planted to grow, to bear fruit, and now you're waiting on those results. And the Knight of Cups is a younger energy, romanticizing life, maybe not so emotionally mature. So let me see what these two kind of mean. So you're being impatient. You're being impatient. Is Harry a water sign? Now I need to know these things. When is his birthday? Prince Harry birthday. Okay, so he's not a water sign, but he's emotional. He's a Virgo, like me. And we are very emotional. Low key though, very low key. There's a sensitivity to him, is what I should say. Okay, so he's not being patient. He's not being patient he's not being patient enough to see the answers that he would from the High Priestess. He's not really allowing himself. There's a certain impatience. And what else? So he's having a hard time gaining that clarity from the High Priestess. Interesting. We've got the Hanged Man, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Six of Cups in reverse. So the Hanged Man, self-sacrifice, to see different perspectives, which is kind of what happened, right? The Two of Swords in reverse, so coming to or finally making a decision. The Six of Cups in reverse, so the Six of Cups usually represents nostalgia, pleasant memories from the past, feeling all these warm and fuzzy feelings. And I feel like what this is saying is he's whatever feelings he has of the past, he can't really let go of, and it's not really working in his favor. Like, he's thinking of the past and is having negative emotion to it instead of nostalgia. Okay, so the Hanged Man, the Two of Swords, self-sacrifice, finally coming to a decision, when I feel like what she's saying is, I don't know if this is happening right now, if it will happen, or it has already happened, but the feelings that he has of his past, and I said it's bringing up negative emotion for him. He's allowing these negative emotions to dictate his his actions, which is not the best thing to do, is what I'm feeling like she is saying. Because the High Priestess hasn't come through. He hasn't, once he allows that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding to come through, he wouldn't look at it so negatively, but he hasn't allowed that yet. And so he's making decisions from this place of hurt. And so, which might be what is leading conversations and what is being said in the conversations around. He is what might have been written in books, what might have been stated in documentaries. He's allowing the pain to influence and guide what he's saying. And you can use that, I think she's saying, you can use that in a positive way, but I don't think that he's doing it in the most positive way right now. I think she's saying it's causing more distance than if he were to be acting or out of a place of a more healed place. But at the same time, she understands that he has financial obligation. He has to, he's doing it for security, for financial security, you know, and that's understandable. Okay, I'm gonna close it off with this and then move on to him. Five of Hazards, upside down, Ace of Wands, and the Hierophant. So the Five of Pentacles, upside down, the Ace of Wands, upside down, and the Hierophant, upside down, reversed. So let's see what they are all saying. The Ace of Wands, new, something new, new beginnings, something new. And the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Okay, Five of Wands, you're in reverse. Ace of Wands, you're in reverse. And the Hierophant, you're in reverse. Why is all this reversed? In the upright position, Five of Pentacles usually indicates you feeling like you're missing something, you're at a disadvantage, an unfair disadvantage, like you're left out in the cold. There's a lot of struggle going on. You don't have comforts, luxuries, you just don't have. You don't have much. So being left out in the cold, being at a disadvantage. But in the upright position, feeling like you belong, feeling like you're deserving, you're worthy, you're not at a, you know, unfair, unequal, you're feeling equal, you're feeling worthy, you're feeling like everything is going all right, is the feeling I'm getting. Ace of Wands would indicate a new beginning, but in reverse, something's preventing that. Whereas the High Priestess is more internal knowledge, more intuitive. The High Priest, the Hierophant, is daily beliefs, guidance systems, and day-to-day, what am I trying to say? That's what I'm trying to say. Normal day-to-day, the ins and outs, beliefs that you do, that you carry out. It would be the outer world. And community. So feelings of fairness, feelings of being where you belong, but you don't have a new opportunity. You don't have something new. And if the Hierophant is, I'm gonna need to clarify, if the Hierophant is in reverse, Lord Jesus, I'm already 50 minutes in. Okay, so to clarify, the Ace of Swords came out clarifying this Five of Hazards in reverse. The Devil came out clarifying the Ace of Wands in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse came out to clarify the Hierophant in reverse. Lots of reversals. So what do we have going on? The Ace of Swords, new ideas, new suggestions, new thoughts, new beliefs. New belief in feeling like I'm where I belong, this is where I need to be, and that it's all working out no matter what, that I wasn't given an unfair, disadvantage. So the Devil is all about a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice. You can either continue doing what you're doing, trying to hush your mind, trying to deal with your emotions in an unhealthy way, having a choice. And if it's upright, usually being bound by those choices in a negative way. So if you are used to hushing those invasive, intrusive thoughts by drinking, and that's the only way you can do that, that's what I'm talking about. It's usually not the best way to handle. And so being kind of tied down to that. So having these negative habits is preventing new beginnings, not being able to move forward, not feeling like the victim, having that mentality, not feeling like just the victim, not feeling bad for himself is going to help new beginnings come his way by making better choices in dealing with these emotions. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Please tell me if it makes sense. Let me know below. So first, he's got to stop feeling bad for himself. He's got to stop feeling like he has to choose between he's got to stop feeling like how he's feeling in order for the proper healing, in order for the proper moving forward to take place. Because right now, the way that he's dealing with his emotions is not in the best way. And that's really, really preventing new beginnings from happening and from spiritual wisdom to come through. He's not able to move forward. He's not able to grow spiritually. He's not able to learn. These lessons aren't able to make themselves known to him. I feel like right now he needs community, but he doesn't want community right now. Not that he's isolating himself. I think that he's trying to figure himself out. Maybe community would do him good, but he's not allowing himself. Like, think of support groups or something like that. He's not really allowing himself. And I mean, if you think about it, a support group to the regular person might work. But if you've grown up in an environment, or like he did, it might not be the best solution, or you might not think that that's going to serve you. But I feel that community is beneficial, helpful, but he's not really thinking that. It's not really clear to him. I just feel like he's trying to figure himself out and trying to figure out how to move forward, how to navigate. So, okay, Diana, wonderful. What do you want to say? She says, any choice he makes is good. He needs to trust himself. He has a good heart. He's very loving. He loves his family. He loves his children. He's always wanted a family of his own. I'm so proud of him. And any decision that he makes is good. He just needs to trust himself. Find himself and trust himself. Okay. Wonderful. So I think I am going to do it in parts because I'm already at an hour, and who has time?